All right, this is our training tape after the week 0 games. Overall, we had a nice week, and what we should focus on for the upcoming week is unnecessary roughnesses and blindside blocking. And in addition, when the play is not around us, we need to continue to officiate and look for trouble. And so we'll see some plays here where I think we relaxed and thought the play went to the other side, and we could have helped our crew get some certain situations correct. And the other thing we need to focus on is with the clock operators, especially the play clock operators, to know about the new rule. Whenever there's a defensive penalty, we set the play clock to 40, and on a defensive injury, it goes to 40. We got to make sure that they understand those new rules just as much as we do. All right, this first play is the opening kickoff of the second half. And what you'll see is a great job by this crew to officiate this play. So you'll see the ball hit about the 6 and stop at the 3-yard line. So, okay, head linesman does a great job. Is just standing and looking at it. However, I'd like to see the head linesman just back a few steps. Now winding the clock. He winds the clock with the touching by the receiving team. And now we have possession, running play, fumble. It goes into the end zone and recovered by the kicking team, which is a touchdown. Now, why is this play interesting? Because this is the only time we can have this occur with there's a possession fumble. Now, if the ball got muffed and there was not possession and went back into the end zone, we know we'd have a touchback. But in this situation, since the member of the receiving team possessed it, ran with the ball, got hit and fumbled, and went back into the end zone, the play was still allowed to go on, and the kicking team was able to have a touchdown on this play. This next play, another one we don't see very often. So we have a blocked punt right on this play. So here we have blocked punt. Now that touching's disregarded. We know that anything touching around a yard on or by the line of scrimmage is disregarded. But look what happens to the ball here. The ball then goes across the line of scrimmage right here. So the line of scrimmage is the 41-yard line, but it is across now. Now, any touching by R in this situation makes it a live ball. Okay? So we have a play. We have touching by R right there. So what I'm trying to tell you here is somehow if K comes up with the ball, R touched it beyond the neutral zone and K recovers it, it's 1st and 10 for K here. In this situation, R touched it, was the first to touch it, and they also recovered it. So the crew handled this properly by giving the ball to the receiving team. But, as a line of scrimmage official, we have to understand if the ball goes across the line of scrimmage, which it does here, who touches it first, and then what can happen in a situation like this. Because would we have known if the ball crossed the neutral zone and R touched it and K recovered to give the ball to K in this situation? So this is a good play to discuss in your pregame for the following week. Here's a play where we had a couple of these in this game here. Where we had I talk a lot about let the kids be excited as long as they're not directing taunts towards an opponent or trying to show opponent up or have excessive celebration. So here we have a situation where we have a long catch right here. Kid does it, and then he gets up, spins the ball. Yeah, we could have flagged that for an unsportsmanlike conduct, but he is celebrating towards his own bench. Okay, if you can see at the top of the screen is the defense's bench. His bench is at the bottom of the screen. He throws the ball down. Yeah, he spins it, but he's celebrating towards his own bench. The crew didn't call unsportsmanlike conduct, and I fully support them. However, later in the game, it didn't show up on the film, so I didn't put it on the tape. We had a situation where the other team has an interception, the kid throws the ball in the air, and we call unsportsmanlike. Listen, we got to work towards consistency the best we can overall, and even more so within the bounds of each game that we call. So if we're going to let something like this go, then we have to let the other play go too. So I think in this case, this is a good job by the crew. There was nothing that, it was just a brief outburst of celebration, not directed towards anyone. And they did a good job of not calling an unsportsmanlike conduct in this situation. Okay, next we're going to start getting into our unnecessary roughness and blindside block. And I'm going to call this the call of the week. Because if this referee doesn't make this call, what I told the crew was they went from a great game to a bad game real quick. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch this player who comes across the formation. And we always think of blindside blocks of happening by the offense, but the defense can also not blindside block someone. So let's take a look at what happens in this situation. I'm sorry, I circled the wrong person. So we're going to take a look at this player right here. I knew it was that wingback. Watch him come across the formation and watch what the defense does to that player who's trying to get out into a pass pattern. Boom, just comes up and chucks him right in the head. And, you know, you can argue whether or not this player saw this happening. But what I'm going to tell you, in situations like this, had that player number 33 been faked to, and that hit occurred, we may have a case for not calling a personal foul here. But what happens is number 5 launches and hits him directly in the helmet right there. With his helmet, I mean, you can see him just, the hands extended are an artifact of the blow, not because of the blow. And unfortunately, in this situation, the kid breaks his ankle and probably out for the year. But, you know, this is a great call. The referee officiates the play and throws it on that play. And, you know, we talked after the game, and I told him, you know, he called a blindside block. He said he didn't see it. And I said, well, whatever it was a personal foul. That hit was not necessary. You know, it was to the head. Had he hit him in the chest area, you could have probably let it go. But in this case, I'll run it back again. This is unnecessary roughness and just really good off-ball officiating by this referee on this play. All right, another blindside block play, and what we're going to happen is we're going to see the pass come in. You know, most of the play happens at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so you'll see the quarterback run, start, and then go down towards the middle of the field. So what I want you to watch what happens is what comes in at the top of the screen right up here. And this is what I was talking about earlier about we need to learn to find something. I'm guessing if we rewind back this play, the player that we see doing this is someone's key. I don't know whose. There's trips to the top of the screen. Let's run it. It's the middle receiver. So at this point, we have the head linesman who has these two players right here, and then we have the side judge at the top of the screen who should be taking that deep person. But what I think happened is our side judge just relaxed a little bit, and we missed a pretty big blindside block, and you can see it right here. You can call it a block in the back. You can call it a blindside block. I would prefer you call it a blindside block. We don't need, look, we're hustling to the goal line. That's great, but we don't need to get to the goal line in such a expedited fashion because the play's at the bottom of the screen. The person who's going to roll on the goal line is the field judge at the bottom of the screen. So we should be looking for situations like this occurring. And I think what happened after the play is we had a nice big scuffle. And the team that got blindside block, the team in gold, is the one who actually was on the worst end of the unsportsmanlike conducts after the play. But you can see and understand why they were upset because we didn't get this blindside block, and it's clear now in the open. And it's because we weren't continuing to officiate the play. We decided maybe since it was going to the other direction, it didn't affect us. So, you know, if you're on the offside, the side that the play does not go on, don't just sit there and think, oh, the play's over, I don't need to worry about it. Let's look and help our crew in situations like this. So another play, let's fast forward. We're looking at the top of the screen. We're going to have a pass to the top of the screen, and it's going to get thrown to the hook person right here. Okay, so we have our head linesman officiating the catch. Our side judge is in good position, should be looking back, but shouldn't really be officiating the catch here. And if you look at it, our umpire's looking in this direction here, our umpire is, 13 yards, 12 yards deep, 11 yards deep, and, you know, is a pseudo back judge in this situation. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the film. But we have 3 people or 2 people in this area who should not be really looking at the ball. But what happens here is we have a player right here who starts going back towards his own goal line. And if you're a deep wing or even a line of scrimmage official and you see this, because look, we got officiating the catch and tackle, you see this occurring and him going back that's just a recipe for trouble. And look what happens to him. Boom. Knocks number 3 to the ground. Another situation where we look for situations and look for areas that we can continue to officiate and help our crew in this situation, because, you know, that player's defenseless, that number 3, and he gets hit to the head. That's a targeting foul too. It's not only a blindside block, but we can call that targeting. We don't have to deem it flagrant, but it's a foul either way you want to have it. Another play, it's going to get thrown to the bottom of the field. Okay. Here we go. Gets thrown to number 3 right here. Now, field judge probably looking here, but as the ball's being thrown, they're not threatened. You should work your eyes back into here. And let's start taking a look of what happens here. Recipe for disaster. This player's going back towards his own goal line, and watch what he does. Boom. Knocks that player down. Again, another situation where we have a blindside block. So let's continue to officiate these plays and not just take them off, because, you know, that's another foul. That's a 15, you know, in this case, we'd have a half the distance penalty, take them back from the 20 to the 10. You know, these are big yardage plays, and these are fouls that jump out on the screen when we don't decide to get them. All right, this next one, these next 2 plays have to do with helmets coming off. Okay, so what we're going to see here, I think we're going to look at this matchup with 71 and 25 here. And, oh no, I'm sorry. We're going to look at the matchup that's going on right here between this offensive guard and this linebacker. So the offensive guard's driving him. The linebacker, it looks like the linebacker number 18 could have ripped the helmet off of 76. And, you know, we came to it late. We don't know. But if you run into a situation where you think that 18 ripped the helmet off, because the situation happens where the lineman will have to leave the play for a down because his helmet came off, not due to a foul, we have to officiate these plays a little bit tighter. Okay, so now 76 has to go out. Did the helmet come off due to a foul? We're not sure, but we should know how the helmet came off is what I'm trying to get at. Now this next play, you'll see more clearly what happens here is the running back runs and gets tackled. And then watch the defender come in after the play right here. Watch that defender. Watch what happens. Pushes the helmet off the running back. Okay. Really, the only person in this situation could see this is the line judge at the bottom of the screen. So let's, you know, it's tough. But if we see this happen, where we see the pushing off of a helmet, that's an unnecessary roughness foul. Okay. He pushed the helmet off. That's a 15-yard penalty on the defense or whoever does this play, because we cannot allow these things to go unpenalized, because the running back now has to come out for a play. Okay, because we let this stuff go and it happens near the end of the game, defenses could try to do this to get the best offensive player off of the field. So let's watch this one last time. You can see the clear push off of the helmet, and we should have a foul in that situation. All right. Next, we're going to go to late hit out of bounds, and then here's a good situation where we have a good no call for a late hit out of bounds, because the contact starts inbounds right there. We don't see any second act. It just goes to the ground. It looks a little ugly, but, you know, the field judge is in great position here to see this and rule on it. And, you know, and so is the line judge, and we do a good job not calling a late hit out of bounds in that situation. Now let's contrast that with this play where we make a good call for a late hit. So we have a pass to the outside. It'll go back. All right, the runner's controlled, right? We're blowing the whistle. This second act, boom, is enough for a foul, right? And the headlinesman gets it. Let's go back. He's controlled here. We blow the whistle. All he has to do is let up. He doesn't have to pick him up and slam him to the ground like that. It's really a good job. And then you could see right here the side judge coming in to get the players out of the bench of the opposing team. So this play overall really nicely officiated play by the head linesman and the side judge in this play. All right, another play where we handled it correctly on a late hit out of bounds. As you're going to see, we're going to have a pass or a play to the top of the screen, throws it to the running back. All right. Play's over, right? Then you see you'll see it right here, number 70. Watch number 70. Play's over right now. We're blowing our whistle, right? Boom, knocks him to the ground. That's unwarranted, and our head linesman gets it. Now, I'm going to make one suggestion to the head linesman. First off, we moved downfield a little bit too quickly. All right, the ball snapped at the 47-yard line. We see the running happen. Look, we're already going downfield. We should be a little bit more patient and be still at the line of scrimmage. And then when that pass happens, let's get some depth. Let's get some depth right away and let the play go in front of us. Well, we might have not still been in trouble in that play, but we still got this play correct. Okay, this is a good job by both the head linesmen, and then you see the side judge coming up to make sure there's no problems in the side zone. So another good handled play here by the crew. Second play of the game, we have a long run down the bottom of the side of the field. Okay, we have to be ready for everything, right? Watch what happens to the runner here. Horse collar tackle and drag to the ground. That's a clear case, grabbing the back of the collar right here, right at the numbers, and pulling the runner to the ground for a horse collar tackle. Next play, head linesman does a really good job here. Watch what happens. He has his receiver go out to the top. We're all set. So we've all been set for a second. But watch what this receiver does. So we have a shift, right? He's got to go, oh boy, I got to get to the other side of the field. So the head linesman knows and is aware that multiple players are moving, and probably the line judge doesn't know that this player, where that player comes from. He gets the whole way to the other side of the field, doesn't get set, the ball is snapped, and the head linesman is aware enough to throw the flag for an illegal shift. So that's not taking the play off. That's understanding and being aware of the whole situation of what is going on. And this is really good officiating by the head linesman at the top of the screen to get this illegal shift foul. All right, this next play has two elements to it. We're going to talk about the intentional grounding element. So right now we're snapping the ball, I'm going to say from the 22-yard line. So watch what happens. The quarterback rolls out. Right now, he is out of the free blocking zone. He's taken his 2.5 to 3 healthy steps. Quarterback, the referee knows this, and the referee's doing a good job to get into the way, get in there to rule, and he throws it, the side. Remember, it is the line of scrimmage extended. The ball lands well beyond, because this person here touches it, or probably about the 16, 17-yard line. So the ball did cross the line of scrimmage. So we have no foul here for intentional grounding because of our new rule. But what we do have is a roughing the passer penalty. And if you notice, the quarterback's right-handed, so the referee is way over here, makes his way over into the side zone to protect the quarterback. And the reason this is roughing the passer, it's not because the hit is vicious, but the quarterback's given himself up here. Okay, near the sideline, the defender has to recognize this, okay, and not knocks the quarterback right to the ground. If he hits him and holds him up, then we're not going to have a foul for roughing the passer. But here, it's clear that he's thrown the ball away, doesn't need to knock him to the ground like that, and this is a really good call for roughing the passer. Okay, next play, we're going to talk about, you can't see where the line judge is, but I know the line judge is on the goal line. Now, the reason I'm putting this play on here is just to talk about possession and a catch. So you have a receiver coming back towards the ball, making the catch. For it to be a touchdown, that receiver, number 8, has to have firm possession and control in the end zone. If they are bobbling the ball and then fall back to the 1-yard line and then make possession at the 1-yard line, then we put it at the 1. But, right here, the receiver has possession, clear possession right here. So we have a catch, and then goes back and has crossed the goal line. The line judge at the bottom of the screen, you can see him raising his hands for a touchdown. But I just wanted to go through that. It's not where they first touch the ball, it's where the ball is possessed. If they possess it across the goal line, and it's a touchdown. If they're coming back and they don't possess the ball until it's outside of the end zone at the 1 or 2 yard line, then that's where we put the ball. All right, next play is a catch, no catch, and it's a tight one. So we have a screen pass thrown. right there, and it's, we have possession, body part down. Now, do we have an act common to the game? Looks like he turns to make a play for the game. Act common to the game. It's really tight. The line judge said it, saw the possession, move forward, drops the ball. Either way, I can understand where they're going. I would also been fine if we would have wiped this incomplete too. But it's a tough play. You get one look at it, and it's not really an easy call to make. So what I do like is the line judge was very adamant and sold this play, did not look indecisive. So, I cannot really go against what he saw on the field. Another catch, no catch play. So at the top of the screen, it's going to go it's going to happen right up in here. And this is a situation just like the previous play. You all have one look at this. Okay. My goal is to put you in a position so you have the best look at this. So right here, let's watch where the side judge is. So he turns, okay. My suggestion to side judges is to be a little bit wider here, okay? Just a little bit wider. He doesn't move. He does everything we ask of him. He just pivots and turns. But if he was a little bit wider, he may have seen the player come down with the 1 foot down right there with possession prior to his backside hitting out of bounds. Because we wave incomplete, he's emphatic with it. Listen, it's not an easy play. I'm going to show it to you in real time. But a little bit more width here might have gotten us the right play. But so the question I have, and we're not out of it, so you can see right here, the head linesman's shaking his head yes. Okay, listen, we talked about this earlier in the year at the clinic. If you are adamant as an off official that the calling official is incorrect, go have a discussion with them. Go up to the side judge and say, listen, side judge, I saw possession and 1 foot down in bounds. I'm 100% sure. Even though the side judge waves incomplete, we can fix the ruling. Our goal is to get the ruling correct on the field. And we're not just leaving it up to one person, because the head linesman probably had a better look at the foot than the side judge did, looking through numerous people and their feet. Go have the discussion. Then, signal touchdown. Go back to the referee and say, after further discussion, the ruling on the field is the receiver of possession, 1 foot down in the end zone, and maintain possession the whole way through the ground. We have a touchdown. Okay? Again, our goal is to get the plays correct. So we're going to have a play at the top of the screen, offensive pass interference. And this is an excellent call and excellent mechanics here by the side judge. Long pass down the sideline. So that push doesn't look like much, right? It doesn't. But okay, before we get to the push, we had a great job. We had a flag down, killing the clock. Even though the runner scored, we know what the foul is in our head. It's not a touchdown, so we're not going to go up with a touchdown. Real nice, calm, killing the clock signal. Now let's go to the OPI. It is not the arm, it's the little flick, and you can see the defender get displaced back whenever there's the push. Boom, displaced back 2 yards, made the offensive player, gave him space, cause and effect to catch the ball, allowed him to catch the ball, and this is just great focus. It wasn't a big push, but it was enough to displace the defender by about a yard or two and catch. So next we're going to look at mechanics here. Let's look at the mechanics of the side judge. We're in great initial position, right? Look what happens here. So now we start walking towards the goal line, walking towards the pylon. Why are we walking towards the pylon? Stay still, because what happens is the ball goes loose and then we wind up on top of each other, okay? Head linesman should be standing about here. The side judge should be back where they started. And now we look like we're right on top of each other and we don't know what's going on, okay? So just like head linesmen and line judges, when we're inside here, you don't have to really get inside the 4-yard line until after the play is over. You can always, if you have the spot at the 2, watch what happens, allow the players to go back towards their bench, and then come in and square in and get your spot. Side judge, keep your width. It's going to help you, and it might save you from getting an injury here. Okay, this one, we talked umpires, initial positioning. We got to be at 8 yards maximum, okay? We're snapping here from the 35. The maximum we should be is the 43-yard line, 42, 43-yard line. We cannot be 11 yards deep, okay? We're not doing ourselves any favors in this situation, because even look, so we start to back up. So now we start at 11, we're back to 12 or 13. It's not good for us. We're not helping our crew look at the situations in here at all by being that far back. Okay. Next play, we're going to take a look at the block by number 7. We call an illegal block in the back here, and I think it's one we should have stayed away from. Okay, the initial block by 7 starts in the front, and there's no disengagement. Front, no disengagement, and it doesn't look like there's much there, so we throw a block in the back there where I think we could have laid off and not called anything there. Again, I'm going to harp on the false start mechanics by line of scrimmage officials. For the most part, we did a better job, but we can always do even better. So we get a flinch here by this back. You probably just saw it. We'll run it back. Flinch, throw the flag, blow your whistle, kill the clock signal, and run in. Because if the clock is running and we tell the clock operators go off of our signals, we never killed the clock here. Okay, so let's basic mechanics for line of scrimmage officials. Now, last play, it's a good job here by the line judge for cross-field mechanics. So here, forward progress was about the 18-yard line. You can see right here, the line judge is looking across the field to the head linesman and then comes in and gets the spot. My only comment with this is, look, we have players right here on the ground. If number 12 pushes the helmet off the runner here, we have no idea what happens. You can come in and then turn our hips towards the players and watch what happens here. But, you know, that's just things that we're going to do to clean up our mechanics. All right, thanks again for watching these videos. Enjoy the comments and the back and forth in the comments. Hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified when these come out and they get uploaded. And good luck with week 1 with everyone.